welcome back to the Paddock Porch, where we talk hot laps, life and family. It's your girl Shiko, and what a weekend we had at the Singapore Grand Prix. Under the glow of the Marina Bay lights, we witnessed driver resilience because that hit was brutal. George won the race. I'm sure everyone at Mercedes was happy that he managed to keep his car off the wall this time. Congratulations to George and Mercedes, but the night was papaya as McLaren managed to secure a second consecutive constructors win. They won last year, they've won this year. This year, major because we have 6 races left and they've managed to seal the deal on the constructors. Before we dive in, I want to remind you all that at the Paddock Porch is bring your own everything. Comfortable chair, something to sip on, of course, and just settle in and we dive in. I'm by myself today. I have my drink, I have my comfortable chair. I have you watching. Let's get into this. And we're going to start with this. McLaren Formula One team, you are the 2025 Constructors World Champions. What a year for them. What a season. The papaya dream is now a reality. From MTC to the track, from garage to the grid, from strategy to driver brilliance, from Australia to Singapore, McLaren have done it. They have managed to get their second Constructors World Championship back to back. Here is how this is special for McLaren and the entire papaya fans and team and everyone. They've never gotten back-to-back Constructors' Championship since 1991. This time, shy of 6 races still left in the season. But the rebuild in 2023 to the triumph in 2024, now to total complete domination in 2025. Wow, what a season for McLaren. 650 points on the board and still more coming. Zach, Andrea, Piastri, Lando, every mechanic, every strategist, every designer, every person in the McLaren team, they have really built something extraordinary. From not having sponsors, or rather struggling with sponsors, being nowhere in the front, struggling with a car that could not perform or compete, to being world's number 1, totally deserved. The teamwork, grit, and the constant pursuit of speed, instant glory, it all paid off. I want to send my heartfelt congratulations to the McLaren team and their fans. Totally earned, enjoy, celebrate. But come tomorrow, it's back to work. We know the Drivers' Championship is up for grabs and is well within your reach. Talking about the Drivers' Championship, there's this whole Piastri issue clouding the McLaren constructors win. That is, I think he was not there when they went up on the podium to celebrate. I mean, people are talking, trashing the team. It's a team effort. I mean, he was sour because of what happened in lap 1 during the race. But if my team won, I don't think anyone told Oscar not to go and celebrate. So personally, I wouldn't even need permission to celebrate if my team won. I would be there front center. Yeah, I mean, whatever happens in the race happens in the race, but the celebration for these constructors would have been, for myself, bigger than maybe sulking over maybe what happened in the race, of which during the race you see things differently than when you maybe watch later and you find out was not intentional or whatever. But yeah, I don't think anybody told Oscar not to go and celebrate, but I would have wished if he addressed this himself, like do a post or something, clear the air or something to avoid this unnecessary noise going around McLaren when they should be actually celebrating for a job well done. People are advising Piastri to leave McLaren. To go where? Oscar, whoever is advising you to leave McLaren does not love you. They, in fact, do not even like you. Do not leave McLaren. There is where you have a chance of winning the championship. Whether it be this year or next year, McLaren is your best option, is your best team to get you a championship. Whatever happened in the race, whatever your feelings are, put them aside, put your best foot forward, maximize on all the races. Only 6 left. You can win this. Even if Piastri is a good driver, if he had not been given a good car, he would not have even had the points he has. So it's a team effort. So anyone is allowed to celebrate. I don't think anyone was refused a chance to celebrate. If that is so, they need to be clear about it. Piastri needs to be clear and open about it, that maybe it was just a personal decision not to go on podium. But yeah, the speculation and the noise is just clouding the McLaren team celebration for the constructors. And it's sad because, yeah, it was their night. Singapore was papaya. I saw Bahrain did orange on all their rooftops. It was beautiful. It was orange. It was nice. It was papaya. Sorry, it was not orange. And yeah, the Drivers' Championship is up for grabs. Now that they have their constructors in the bag, I don't know the dynamics of the team. Personally, I would want Lando to win the Drivers' Championship first before Piastri. I love Piastri, but really, I would not mind Lando winning the Drivers' Championship. Yeah, he's a good driver. He has stuck with the team for good or worse seasons. And yeah, they both deserve the Drivers' Championships. I might sound unpopular for saying I don't mind a Lando Drivers' Championship, but yeah, the two drivers deserve it. They've done a great job. And a few mistakes here and there have made Lando not to have more points than Piastri. So it's up to him to correct that and make sure the 6 races he's perfect, no mistakes, like nip everything in the bud and just do his best and win and come out on top and not require saving in quotes by the team, because I think that's why some fan base is angry or nasty. They think McLaren is pushing for a Lando win, which would be okay, because if the team wants a specific driver to win, they would be able to support them to win. So anyway, whatever is going on at McLaren, I hope they're enjoying this. I hope they're working towards maintaining form, because getting to the top is hard, but maintaining and staying on top is harder. McLaren resurgence needs to be studied. These guys were way in the midfield, car not performing. It didn't matter which driver they put in that car, it was not working, no pace, had issues with sponsors, and everyone who has put in their effort and work, they need to tap themselves on the back. They need to take a bow, because wow, I think this will go down in history as one of the best comebacks a team has ever had. And yeah, away from that, F1 broadcasters, you have been put on notice, because after the Singapore Grand Prix, people noticed, whoa, we really missed some really nice on-track drama and on-track battles. Why? Because the broadcaster or whoever was directing which camera, you know how they do it, was taking us to the garage, was taking us to the paddock, was taking us to see people's girlfriends, and what F1 fans are making clear. And I've heard a few drivers also saying, we need to see the action on the track. We schedule our Sunday or Saturdays to have time to watch what goes on the track. Famous people, people's girlfriends, you can show maybe after the race. I don't need to see their reaction if somebody does anything, because I would rather watch the battle. I would rather watch the overtakes. I would rather be on the edge of my seat hoping someone makes that corner than to be taken to the garage or I don't know, paddock place to see someone famous who maybe I don't even know. So that one they can do after. So I hope they do better. We need on-track action more during the live race. Afterwards, you can do whatever you want, bring the clips from the back end for the people who are interested with people's reactions. Personally, I want to see the drivers. I want to see the cars. I want to see the on-track action more than anything. I make up time on Sundays and Saturdays for the on-track drama, for the on-track battle. Nothing else. It's really sad when after a race you realize, oh, I missed this. Why didn't I see this? Why didn't I hear this happening? And we have no control. It's the broadcasters who have the controls. Yeah, do better next time. Anyway, from the Singapore Grand Prix, here's to George Russell, the race winner, Fernando, the hero of the race, McLaren for getting that World Constructors' Championship, and of course, to us fans who live for weekends and nights and rest day like this, where we enjoy, we celebrate, and just happy for the sport. On the paddock porch, it's on to the quick fire segment. It's easy, 10 questions. 10 answers. Today I don't have a guest, so I'll do the questions and I'll do the answers. Yeah, and from the paddock porch, lights out, let's go. Question 1, sports. It's F1 or. So for me, it's rugby. It has been accessible to me growing up. F1 only became accessible when I was able to pay for these subscriptions where you can watch. But yeah, rugby is the other sport I like or love, and I've watched it longer than Formula One. Question 2, biggest Singapore Grand Prix disappointment. The Lewis Hamilton penalty was a bummer because he was really having a good race. He was bagging those fastest laps, and it's sad because it was his brakes that failed, and even Charles said that his brakes failed at some point. So I don't know, Ferrari need to look that up, but that was really disappointing because he was having not an excellent race, but it wasn't bad. He had pace and he was in for some more points if he didn't get that penalty. Question 3, Singapore Grand Prix favorite radio message. Yeah, Fernando telling his engineer that he will disconnect the radio if he doesn't stop talking to him. I think Fernando is in his old man era where he just talks or says whatever he wants. You know, during pressure time, you have very few words that you can spew. So yeah, and also I think he was in the hunt most of the race. I think he didn't want distractions. I don't take offense. Nobody should actually take offense from that. Question 4, how many years do you give McLaren dominance? I'm going to say 3 years. They've had 2 already, so I'm only going to add them 1, that is for 2026. I'm sorry, soon to be McLaren Mastercard F1 team. But yeah, getting to the top is hard, staying on top is harder, and we can actually see some teams are reducing the gap to this McLaren pace. So let me give them 1 more year, so 3 years, no offense. Question 5, who is winning the Drivers' World Championship? I love Piastri, but I'll go with Lando because I want to see him win the Drivers' World Championship first. Whatever happens from next year can happen, but I really would love to see Lando winning a Drivers' World Championship. I would honestly want that for him. Question 6, you have to pick one, Niki Lauda or James Hunt. I'll say Niki Lauda. Question 7, what's the worst incident you have ever gotten into on the road? I don't have many, but let me talk about this one. So I scratched the door of the car trying to make a corner. Where was I heading to? I was heading to pick up my driver's license, like my fresh driver's license. I had the interim one. You know, in Kenya, we are given an interim one before you go and get the actual booklet. But imagine that particular day, I scratched on the driver's side. You can imagine, on the driver's side, I scratched the door. I lost all confidence. I just picked someone, store guy I know in the area, to take me to pick the driver's license and bring me back home and actually park the car in a nice, safe spot because I felt like I couldn't drive again. Like my driver confidence really took a beating. Question 8. An exciting road trip is coming up. Where in South Africa are you going? I have to say Drakensberg because I've never been. Yeah, I've been to some interesting places, but I've never been to Drakensberg. Question 9. You are the driver. You have to pick 2 F1 drivers on the current grid to come with. Who are you picking and why? Lewis Hamilton. I think his vibe matches with mine, so he can be the co-driver and the DJ. I trust his music choice. The other one, I will say Ollie Behrman. Yeah, he looks sweet and he looks like an easygoing person, like easy to interact with. Yeah, he can do the handyman things like KYM, checking the tire pressure, maybe pumping the gas, maybe running for a bottle of water for us when we're in the car. Yeah, so those 2. Question 10. Dream F1 destination to watch live. I used to say Monaco, but I'm leaning towards Abu Dhabi and Qatar now, mostly because it seems feasible and realistic because of travel and costs and everything. But yeah, I'll say Abu Dhabi or Qatar. But any, if I'm able to go to any, I would be really grateful. If it comes to South Africa and it does not cost an arm and a leg, of course, I will go to the one in South Africa. So that's it for our quick fire segment. If you have different responses, which I know you do, don't be shy. Write them in the comments. And like McLaren, we're going to go back to back on the segments. We'll now go to the hot text segments of the episode. And yeah, for the second time on the paddock porch, lights out, let's go. Hot take number 1. Horner did not deserve to be sacked after all he had done for the Red Bull team. I disagree. He had management issues. He managed to make the second Red Bull seat so undesirable, and I think he should have resigned on his own volition. So yeah, he has done his part. He has helped them to achieve some really awesome things. He has helped them to accomplish a lot as a team. I'm sure Red Bull will always remember him. The F1 community will always remember him. But yeah, let him go and do something else. I saw he was gunning for the Haas top job. No, let him go and do something else. Hot take number 2. This one is painful for me, but on the porch, yeah, no one is safe. Charles Leclerc is the fastest Ferrari driver since Schumacher, but he won't win a title with Ferrari. Yeah, I agree. Charles has stayed in Ferrari, I think, enough seasons. We are not seeing him getting anywhere close to being a world champion in Formula One. He has done it in other formulas, if I can say. And so my advice to Charles is get another team which can get you the championship before it's too late. Because if you stick at Ferrari for too long, waiting for things to get better, then it doesn't. And you know, these things have a shelf life. Then you're out of Formula One. You will get out of Formula One without a championship title. So yeah, if you get a team that gives you an offer that will possibly give you a chance at becoming the world Formula One drivers champion, I think you should take it. Hot take number 3, Formula One should bring back refueling. Yeah, I agree with this, especially for some races like Monaco. It might bring some good dynamics. Pit, maybe it will give entertainment. Refueling, like tire change, brings a lot of strategy. They took it out in 2010. I would be interested to see how that would work out with this era of the new cars, but yeah, I agree. Hot take number 4. No team will ever top Mercedes and Lewis Hamilton era of dominance. Yeah, this one I agree 100%. I think that pairing was the perfect pairing of man and machine. Like, we'll never see anything like that ever again. It will go down in history. I don't think we'll experience anything like that ever. Hot take number 5. Drive to Survive brought some fans to Formula One, but it also made the fan base toxic. I've not seen Drive to Survive, but I disagree. Toxic fans, toxic people have always been there since the beginning of the age. They will be there with or without Drive to Survive. Toxic people, toxic fans will always exist. So I disagree on this one. And that's it for our hot takes this week. I know you might have different opinions. Leave them in the comments. We learn from each other. These are just opinions. End today's episode with some attempt of a Poch wisdom segment here. I'll try and gather some wisdom from past rivalries. In particular, in the quickfire, there was a question, Niki Lauda versus James Hunt, who would I pick? I said Niki Lauda. So we love our drivers past, present, future. Niki, 3-time Formula One world champion. Hunt, 1-time Formula One world champion. They had different approaches to life, different approaches to racing, but they all achieved greatness. They got to the pinnacle of sport. Lauda was known to love precision, to love being one step ahead. Hunt was known for his flair, his instinctive way of racing. They all ended up succeeding in Formula One. But I dare say this, and I stand corrected, I do not think Hunt would have won his drivers' championship when he won it. He won it in 1976, and it was the time that Lauda got his horrific accidents. But anyway, what we learned from this, different paths, different ways to do it, but we can all achieve success, so we don't really need to do everything the same to get success or to get ahead in life. The Lauda horrific near-fatal crash that happened, yet he came back to the sport. He got burnt and it was really bad. Sometimes there will be pain, there will be risks, but we just have to do things through and with the pain and the risk, especially if it's something we love. We need to just push through the pain, push through the risks, and yeah, that's how great people are formed and great things are done. Lauda and Hunt on the track, They competed off the track. They maintained their humanity. There was no animosity. They kept their respect. Competitions should not bring animosity, especially off the track, because after the competition, there's a winner already. So you can't carry the baggage of animosity off the track. This is something these young drivers and these young athletes need to learn in today's competitive Formula One, motorsport, anything. So both of these two men left F1 in their own terms. Deep down, they knew you can't stick in the spotlight for too long. Winning is powerful, but also the wisdom to know when you've done enough is really something that we need to crop out. You keep pushing, but sometimes we need the wisdom to know when we can push, when we can refuel, when we can bow out, hang our gloves, or just bow out with grace, especially if maybe physically it's not working, mentally it's not working, and you have achieved what you wanted to achieve. Yeah, so there's wisdom in knowing when you've done enough and you bow out of any competition, any race, just anything, even projects or just simple life decisions. That wisdom is important. Yeah, so the Lauda Hunt story is not just about who was faster and who won what. They fought fiercely. They showed respect. They lived fully. Their humanity was intact during, after the sport, after racing. From these drivers, you can learn that greatness comes in many forms, some with scars, some with a smile. But yeah, both left a legacy for generations and generations to come. Nikki was known to have said so many wise things, but I'll just leave you with two. There's no friendship out there. When you race, you have to fight. A lot of people criticize Formula One as an unnecessary risk, but what would life be if we only did what was necessary? Rest in peace, Nikki and Hunt. Your legacy is well secured in Formula One and in motorsport. Next up is round 19. We are going to America, to the rolling hills of Austin, Texas. Can you believe we are in the last quarter of the season, the last quarter of the year? Unbelievable. So Ferrari, we had a really nice outing in Texas last year. Charles won. I do not know about this year. I hope the car cooperates because, we need a win. Charles, Lewis, Ferrari, we need a win. We desperately need a win this season. And I think because of last year, we can hope that maybe the track is good for our car. But yeah, we need to push for a win. And I will not tire from saying this, but fingers crossed for a Ferrari win. We already got a Ferrari podium sometime in the season, but yeah, we have not gotten a win, and it's fingers crossed for that. Lewis, Charles, the whole team, make it happen. Please make it happen. Yeah, so thank you all for watching the Paddock Porch. Always grateful for anyone who gets time to tune in, support by sharing the episode, support by liking, by commenting. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode. Remember to follow all my accounts at the Paddock Porch, subscribe to my YouTube channel, stream on Spotify, join the Discord WhatsApp group to chat, race, banter, and tell me if you want to come as a guest on the porch. Really, you just need conversational skills, little bit of F1 knowledge here and there. We are not experts. The only thing you should expect is respect from myself and anyone in the circle of the Paddock Porch. You should expect to learn from me, and I will learn from you. Yeah, and follow all my accounts: TikTok, X, Instagram. Support. Yeah, anything you like. Just hit the like button, comment, and share with your friends, share with your family any episode, any bits and pieces that you like, and always leave a comment. Everyone is welcome to be a crew on this porch, and yeah, let's build this community and let's grow the crew. Thank you so much. Till next time, keep your eyes on the track, keep your heart in the race, keep your foot on the pedal or the porch. Yeah, so this is the Paddock Porch, where we talk hot laps, life and family. I'm Shiko, and as always, God bless.